Hello everyone, time to continue our dungeon crawler game. And last time where we left off, we added some models to the world. So we have models for walls and for stairs, and we can still run around. And today I want to continue working on having multiple floors. So let's circle back to our tests, and we have this set of tests here that check the current floor. And actually, I'm not that happy with this setup because what I think it would be nicer is to really check if you are on a different floor, because indeed we are changing floor numbers, but we still end up on exactly the same map. We even only have one map here. So I think we should do something a little different. So I'll start by defining two floors, floor one. This will be a map that takes an array, and that can be this map. And then we have a second floor that's slightly different. And what I would like to do is a new party stats starts at the first floor. So we should be able to initialize a world that has multiple floors, and that requires the world to actually have multiple floors, or at least the initializers take. There should be an initializer that takes multiple floors. You can just copy this one. Let's say we have floors. This takes an array of maps. And we could say this will be the first one for now. So at least this one should now be able to build. So these tests still pass, but I want to check that our current floor is indeed floor one. And this requires two things. Well, first off, we should make current floor instead of a number. We should have a variable called current floor that is a map. And this could be a current floor. Prefactor rename to a current floor index. This can also be a private variable, and then we can create a variable called current floor that returns a map, and this will take floors. And this returns our floors, current floor index. So let's see if this at least passes this test. We can no longer check current floor index. So for now, let's comment out these tests. Let's take this one step at a time. And our map should now conform to equatable. So we can compare them. And we should now be able to create this test. So now we can validate it indeed. We start at the first floor. We renamed something, so we need to maybe we could have used a rename function somewhere. We need to make sure that we do them all. By the way, these should be Y's instead of X's. Okay, so now we have this test running. Let's see. So the second test would be that when a party moves into the staircase, the floor number should increase by 1. They should end up on the second floor. So we take away this. We use the same sort of world. We move to the right. And now our current floor should be floor number 2. Note that floor 1 and 2 are indeed different because they have a different type of stairs in them. So let's see, this still passes. And finally, we should also be able to go downstairs, heading down. They on the second floor, the floor number, they should end up on the floor on the first floor. So again, we use this world. This time we say we move to the right, so we end up on floor. And then we move to the left and to the right. That way, when we end up on the second floor, we go to the left, then to the right, and then we take the stairs, and then we should end up on our current floor should be again be floor 1. Okay, so now we're able to actually change floors. Let's quickly commit. Did I forget to add? So, okay. So let's add some a second floor to our game. So let's take a content view and we have our world here, and this should take floors. And a second map. But this time we don't go down. And to make it look a bit better, we'll add some empty tiles around. We should be able to now have a second floor. And well, we can't see it because we never changed the view. So we need to find a way of when we move into the stairs to update our view. And that requires a bit of work, I guess, in our game view. Now the game view sets up this map only once. I think we need to do that in the world update view. And the trick we're going to use is this. So in our world update system, what we'll do is we'll create a private variable called the current rendered floor, and this will be a map. And we'll start it off as an optional, and we'll also have a private variable called map anchor. This will be an anchor entity, and this too can be an optional. And what we'll do is in update, we're going to check if current rendered floor and different from the current floor, then we're going to render the map. And this is a function that we need to create. So we'll create a private function called render map. So, and this is where we need to get to pick up stuff from this one, because we can reuse a lot of code. So in our setup view, what we'll do is we'll bring in this functionality, and instead of having an AR view, what we'll do is we'll get passed in a scene, and what we'll say is we'll set our map anchor to an anchor entity. We'll add child, so need this all these places. I will add the place model function in a bit. So now we need to pass in the scene, so we can say scene. This will be the context.scene. And we need to make sure that our scene adds the map anchor as a child. And we need to bring in these two functions to actually show the map. We need access to import Swift UI to get access to the NS color type. And the scene here needs to be a RealityKit.scene, because both Swift UI and RealityKit both have scenes in them. And we need to say that our rendered map, our current rendered floor, is now our world's current floor. So this should only have to run once. We can actually, I think we should be able to just run this, and this will almost do what we want. So indeed, it's showing it. Go to the next floor. It takes a bit of time, and now we still see a lot of stuff. And the reason is we should clean up what we had. And that's why we have this map anchor here as a reference. This way we can say map anchor, or we can say scene, remove anchor, or map anchor. And because it's an optional, we first need to unwrap it. So this way it should delete the old component. And indeed. So we can walk around. This is the second floor. It looks a bit different. We have the stairs going down. Did we not add stairs going down? I guess we didn't add stairs going down. Just a sec. So we should go to our content view. And should add some stairs going down. So we should be able to go up. And now we have the stairs here going down. And again, we can go down and we can go up. Notice that there's a delay when changing floors. And the reason is the way we're creating these entities is by loading them. And what RealityKit does is it reloads it every single time. I am going to quickly commit this because we have something working. It reloads them every single time, which is really inefficient. I think we should just make sure that we load a model once and then sort of cache the value and reuse it over time. So let's add something for that. We can create a private variable called our model cache, and this will map from a string to an entity. And what we could do is we could create a function called private func loads entity. I will pass in a model, and this will return an entity. And what we'll do is we'll first check if let entity is from our cache. So we called it model cache, I think. If we have this one, return the entity, else. Then we do what we're doing here. We try and load one. And then we say return. Maybe the else is not really needed here. Then we can say our model cache will insert the loaded entity, and we return the entity as well. Here we can say let entity is load entity model, and here we'll add a clone. This way we get a copy of the entity. Let's see if this helps. So we start the game. So we can still walk around. But now if we go to the second floor, showing it is almost instantaneous, and the same applies to going back to the first floor. So we now truly have multiple floors working correctly. We can also get rid of this crazy print statements. So let's clean up those. So let's see where we're doing that here. We can really delete this dead code. And let's see what we have in our tech debt. Okay, so we still have that stairs only look right at a specific point, but I think that's not that much of a problem now. So we can now move up and down stairs. We can also see it, so we should add this to our notes. So we move between floors and the map changes, and we added the visual representation also changes, and finally added caching to improve performance when changing floors. So I think that's quite nice. I think we should look at what's the next thing we want to tackle. And one thing we could do is start looking at win and lose conditions. So the win condition reach a specific tile. and the loose condition will be party is defeated, whatever that means. And I think that's the thing we should start working on as a next step. For now, thanks for watching and have a great day.